All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Dun, 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 The
The
Kingdom,
kingdom.
where sports reign
Reign supreme.
supreme. We are back once again. We are very technically celebrating the 6 year anniversary of the pod. So, once again, it's training camp around the corner. We are doing the mega cast for the top 32 projected starting quarterbacks for the 2026 season. And we have the whole crew pretty much here. Shout out to all the guests here right now. Jason, welcome back. Original co founder in the house. Pete, my
Going
lovely
on.
co host. Ray is here. Rich is here. The
Yo.
Danimal is here. Oh my goodness gracious. What a show this is about to be.
Quarterback rankings.
Quarterback rankings. You guys know how this works. And for all the new ones that are listening, we go through every single team's quarterback. We rank them 1 to 32. And that's it. No talking about nothing else. Fuck baseball. No Yankees, no Mets, no hockey, no nothing. We are in football zone, ready to roll. Training camp is next week. So, without further ado, I will kick things off at number one. And I think a lot of us may have the same number one, but we might see. Number one is pretty simple for me. It was Josh Allen. All around the best quarterback in the league right now between rushing ability, arm talent, consistent success. There's so many different superlatives you could use, so many different stats you can use. Right now, Josh Allen is the king of the world. So I have him at number one.
Do you want to make an order so we don't just
Yes,
jump on
let's
each
make
other?
it. Let's make an order. We're gonna go myself, Mr. Gold, Dan, Rich, Pete, and then always want to have Ray go last.
Always phenomenal.
It's because I'm slightly unhinged. All right, that's what I'm here for.
That's why you're going last.
Bring the chaos.
It's the last taste in everybody's mouth that makes the most sense.
All right. So, Mr. Gold.
Gold.
All right. Yeah, I'm no surprise. It's Josh Allen. There's no debate. That's it. Make it nice and simple.
Is it Rich next?
No, I think you're up actually. Then.
Oh, am I?
It's you. Yeah, it's you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's for me. It's Josh Allen. No player in the league carries this team the way that Josh Allen does year in and year out. Elite dual threat, Hall of Fame resume. The only thing missing is the championship, but that's not his fault.
Yeah, you guys are covering it all. I mean, consensus number one, Josh Allen, best quarterback in the league, dual threat, like Dan said. My number one, everybody's number one.
May not be everybody's number one based on some of the smiles I'm seeing here.
When you look up hero ball in the dictionary in the NFL, there is a picture
If this is
of
from
Josh Allen. Oh, whoa. Listen. I am a Raider homer at heart, but I am not a Delulu. We all know Josh Allen is the stereotypical picturesque. He's hero ball. Without that team, they're nothing. Yeah, Josh Allen.
So I took a page out of my boy, the Cleveland GM from one of the greatest football movies of all time, Draft Day. And I made my selection earlier today. I put it on this piece of paper. It was always Josh Allen.
That's right, baby.
Well done.
Josh Allen, no matter what.
Josh Allen.
Listen, love to kick it off with a family pick right
Yeah,
there.
family pick. Pretty easy. Number two. Might get a little interesting now.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I have Matthew Stafford, the reigning MVP.
Wow.
Led the league in passing touchdowns. All reliable. Seems to get better with age. A complete horse, Iron Man. Doesn't matter what injury he has. He always plays. always goes deep in the playoffs. Matt Stafford, will he be remembered as a Lion or is he going to be remembered as a Ram? Who knows? But right now, besides Josh Allen, he's the best.
Go.
I'm next, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're always after
All
me.
right. All right, then I'm going number 2 with a guy that, as long as he's healthy, he is number 2, and that's Joe Burrow. That's a guy that's 4,500 yards and 30 plus passing touchdowns. As long as he's healthy, he's a guaranteed number 2 in the league. So I'm going Joe Burrow.
I respect the pick. I think the underlying thing there is injury. I'm with Zach. I'm absolutely finished disrespecting this guy. Matthew Stafford is the second best quarterback in the NFL. And he has a Hall of Fame resume now, 2025 MVP to go along with his ring. Massive momentum going into this year with the way that the Rams are looking. Yeah, he's my number 2.
I respect all the picks. My number 2 is a little bit different. If healthy, because it's a question mark on when he's coming back, I can't have a number 1 and 2 without it being Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. I just can't. I know he may not play until halfway through the year, but he's still my number 2 quarterback.
That's my problem with it, is I just don't know what
Yeah, nobody
his
knows.
health
It's
is.
it's a big question mark, but to me, Josh Allen and Mahomes are the 1 and 2. I can't have a list without them being the top 2. My opinion.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and if he didn't blow his knee out, he would have been my number 1. Patrick Mahomes at number 2. The resume speaks for itself. That team ride or dies with or without him, and he
Yep.
he makes every play for Kansas City, whether it's running for his life or throwing bombs. I think the talent around him has failed him recently. I mean, he's had a regression, but it's a regression where most quarterbacks would love to have that regression. So Patrick Mahomes, number 2.
People disgust me.
They disgust me too.
Regression, if and when he plays, unknowns, injuries. Why are we even talking about this guy yet? Right? We're gonna put Ray. We're gonna put a little clock on the top of my counter here and call it the Patrick Mahomes slide of death, because that's what he does all. That's what he does all year long when he plays football, makes miraculous plays. All right, divine intervention. My number 2 is a proven MVP, Mr. Lamar Jackson.
I respect that pick. I respect that pick a lot.
Very good.
And we're talking about injuries? What? What? Lamar?
When is Patrick Mahomes going to start playing football?
When's Lamar not going to choke in a playoff game?
How many MVPs does he have?
I don't care. Win a playoff game.
3.
3 MVPs.
How many
Three
rings does
MVPs.
he have?
How many what?
None.
There you go.
Number 3. This is where I have Joe Burrow. He's still probably the best pure pocket passer. Second best, next to Matthew Stafford, but the accuracy still is second to none. Weapons galore. If only Cincinnati wasn't a horrible organization, actually gave him an offensive line. But this might be his last year before he retires. Who knows? But Joe Burrow at number 3 for me. He hasn't won MVP. He hasn't won a ring, but he's still so damn good. It's the stats just show it. So number 3, Joe Burrow.
All right, number 3, I got Matt Stafford. I don't care how old he is. He's proven that he just gets better with age, and they build the perfect team around him to help his needs, which is very few and far between. So I have to go with old reliable Matt Stafford, the Iron Man.
I'm going Lamar with number 3. He's the most efficient quarterback in the NFL over the last 3 seasons combined. The most elite dual threat in the game when healthy, and a Hall of Fame resume. He's just missing the chip. Yes, a lot of it is his fault, but I would still take him at number 3 over the rest of the pack right now.
Yeah, number 3 was easy for me after Allen and Mahomes. It's Matt Stafford coming off of an MVP year. Um, could have gone to the Super Bowl. He was that good last year, so I think he's probably going to run it back, go to the playoffs, deep run, probably have another MVP season. So he's my number 3.
Agree. Matt Stafford, especially at this stage in his career, putting up the numbers that he's been doing, it's unquestioned what he's doing.
Crazy.
Number 3.
So I mean, I guess I probably did mine a little different. Like I look at future projections and where I think these guys are going to rank this year. So I took a lot of past, present, future into account. My number 3 is going to be Mr. Drake May. I think the kid is he's a proven stud. He's a talent. He led the Patriots to a Super Bowl in a very short amount of time, and the Patriots got better in the offseason. I think with the diva of AJ Brown added to the team, he's going to have another target now to throw to. I really think this kid's going to have a breakout year, and he's coming back with a vengeance. He has something to prove after tasting a loss in the Super Bowl, and I think this kid is dangerous this year. So Drake May's my number 3.
Wow,
Respect.
first surprise right there.
That's a big That's a big surprise to me, actually.
Yeah. My number 4 is Lamar Jackson. Best dual threat in the game, Hall of Fame resume, multiple MVPs. He's just missing that playoff success. He has everything else. He's the best rushing quarterback in history. He's the best dual threat quarterback in history. He's not even 30 years old yet. I mean, just needs the ring. Plenty of time still. Just needs the ring. Lamar 4.
I almost had Lamar Jackson here at 4, but there's one guy that I had to put above him, and that's Jalen Hurts. He goes at number 4.
Oh, my Lord.
It's not wrong. It's the correct opinion. It's time that the game manager narrative comes to an end. He's not a game manager. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and y'all are jealous you don't have him.
You stinky.
Man, he must be allergic to
Okay.
Yes,
or something.
I did my list. Ray, I did my list the same way, where it's all for what I believe is going to happen this year, who the best quarterbacks are. At number 4, I had Joe Burrow. The injury history is noted, but elite processing, it factor, and it's just whether or not this guy's offensive line can keep him alive. It's not whether about it isn't a question of, to me, is he a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? He is. It's, will the team around him get him killed?
Yeah, so my number 4, you touched on a lot of what I was going to touch on. It's Joe Burrow for me too. And the only thing I'll add is when healthy, if his line keeps him upright. I've always said this. I'm a big Joe Burrow guy. I'm on record loving the kid. I always have since the moment they drafted him. When he's healthy, bro, there's really nobody better than him. And like those weapons he has, like it's just insane, dude. He should really go off for 5,000 yards and win 13, 14 games every year with those weapons if they just put a line in front of him. He would win MVP every year. That's really my opinion. He's that good. So if it wasn't for all that, like I almost think I'd be talking about him at 1. That's how big of a Joe Burrow guy I am.
I mean, nobody has that swagoo quite like Joe Shiesty, walking in with the fur coat, the bleach blonde hair. The only thing that's going to make the difference is old Joey B. Is he going to be smiling, or is he going to be, "Ooh, I don't like Cincinnati no more"? But elite talent. No, it's hard to touch that kid when he's not fighting for his life and he's healthy. He can sling it like nobody else, but that's the biggest question mark is, can they build around him to protect him? And I think Dan mentioned it. Carson Palmer, it's similarities in Cincinnati. They couldn't put a winning product around Carson Palmer, and he said, I'm gonna retire. And then got his way out of Cincinnati and had a decent second half of his career in Arizona after he fucked over the Raiders. So, but yeah, Joe Burrow, he's a dog.
I this is where coming in last hurts my brain because the amount of pent up aggression I have listening to all this Joe Burrow. He's my guy. He's my guy. He's always been my guy. So back off. He's my guy.
He's mine. He's
I
mine.
still don't have him yet. No, my number 4 is Matt Stafford for everything you guys have said prior. I mean, it hurt my heart. It was close. Hint at my number 5, who it's going to be. It's, but yeah, Stafford's my number 4. This is going to be a wonderful year to watch him go out there and with the LA super team trend that goes on, it's just going to be ridiculous. God, I hope Aaron Donald comes back and plays too, because that's going to be fucking amazing.
I think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen.
It's going to happen too. I think so.
That's that.
All right, my number 5, rounding out my top 5. This is where I have Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, the resume speaks for itself, but I just don't think I could confidently put him in front of my 4 other players that I have above him. He is dealing with a torn ACL. He wants to play week 1. We don't really know if that's going to happen. I don't like the talent around him right now. It's been a rough year or so post the Super Bowl loss, but he's still 15 in red. But I got him at 5 this year.
Yeah, at 5, this is where I now have Lamar Jackson. I believe now, as I know Ray just said that Joe Burrow is his guy. It's always been his guy. Lamar Jackson was always my guy. I don't care what anyone says about that.
Are we sure?
I am positive. I was the one saying, go draft this guy before he got drafted. I bought his jersey before everyone else did. But you know what? This might be his year. This might be the time that they win him his rings. So we'll see.
To Pete's credit, when that draft, when we were going into that draft and when we were talking about quarterbacks that we thought were going to be good, he did say that Lamar Jackson was going to be the best in the class. And
as he should. Smart.
And if not for Josh Allen, he would have been right about that. At number 5, I have Mahomes, and it's not because of the talent around him. That's not how I did my list. I put him at 5 because he's still a unicorn as far as like all the physical traits combined with his ability to process. It's been very difficult for him lately because the team just hasn't been the same. But I think with, in a different situation, he would be just fine. Now, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt also, just like I am with Burrow as far as the injuries go. They say that he looks great in camp and that he's on track to play week 1 and there shouldn't be any problems with it. They might still hold him out a game or 2, but even if they do, he's probably still the 5th best quarterback in the league.
So yeah, at 5 is a guy for me that, opposite of what Jason said, I'm actually on record being a pretty big hater of, because the guy doesn't win in the postseason, but he's just too talented and I'm too smart as a football fan to not have him in my top 5. So Lamar Jackson's my number 5.
There you go.
I think Rich cheated off of me because I think we're almost in lockstep right now.
We are. Our top 5's identical, which is kind of wild.
Of our picks. But number 5, this guy right here, that's right, Dano, said that pre-draft Lamar Jackson was the guy to draft, and boy did he show it immediately. And I don't think there's been a quarterback that has refined their passing skills more than Lamar Jackson has done in the last three seasons. He's very economical. Um, and he's had to be somebody that has fought off injuries because he's not the biggest guy. Um, he has turned his whole style around where now, like, he can run, but the running's not going to kill you. It's him throwing the ball, and that's what makes the difference of being a quarterback and an elite quarterback. Um, hasn't won the big one yet. Willie, I don't think in Baltimore, but maybe elsewhere. But yeah, I think the coaching changing over there. I'm curious now to see what this looks like as this is Lamar's team this year. This isn't a Harbaugh team. This isn't a Munkin team. This is Lamar's team. So
On him.
we'll see. But Lamar at 5.
All right. Well, clearly we don't have Raymond. I don't know what happened, so we will.
He's saving lives.
He's probably saving lives. We'll get back to him later.
Or that explosive diarrhea from that lettuce wrap kicked in.
Yes, or the explosive diarrhea kicked in. So when he comes back, we'll get his number 5. So my number 6, I think this is where things get interesting. We're now outside the top 5. I have Dak Prescott at number 6, and I think he's been so ridiculously consistent throwing the football over the last 3 years that he gets lost that he's the Cowboys, part of the Cowboys. They don't win in the playoffs. They don't do anything. And a lot of that is probably his fault as well. But I mean, he had 4,500 yards last year, third straight year with 30 plus touchdowns, third straight year, 4,200 plus passing yards, under 10 interceptions. Like, he's only gotten better over the last couple of years, and especially with the addition of he has CD Lamb. What's the
George
other wide
Pickens.
receiver?
George Pickens.
George
Pickens.
Pickens. Thank you. It's just going to continue. I think he's just going to continue putting up monster numbers. Only people in Philadelphia think that Hurts is better than Dak Prescott. So the rest of the world thinks otherwise.
Such a wrong.
That's
opinion.
good.
Jesus.
That's good.
Love it.
Because I have another quarterback in the NFC East that's higher than Dak Prescott on my list, but I didn't get there yet. I actually have Trevor Lawrence next. I think that Trevor Lawrence has proven with his new head coach that he deserves to actually be a quarterback in this league, and I was a big Trevor Lawrence hater. And he's proven even with inept wide receivers last year that he can actually throw the ball. So I have Trevor Lawrence at 6.
But he didn't have great numbers. I mean,
he didn't have great numbers, but I blame these horrible wide receivers that he had.
You mean the same ones he has going into this year?
That's not on him.
I have him
He
higher
can't
than
control who he's throwing the ball to.
I have him higher than previous years. But
listen, I'm a believer that you pick the player you think is the best. It's not about what's around him. So if that's what you think, then that's what you think.
Yeah, he's wrong.
I mean, it's a wrong thought, but yeah.
All right, we're on number 6. I have Justin Herbert. Complete player. I know this hurts you, Pete. But you look at the numbers. I mean, since 2000, since he's been in the league, I mean, 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, and now he's got He's climbing up the postseason ladder slowly but surely. He's gonna get there. He's got a great coach. I'm a big believer in Justin Herbert this year.
So I got a different one than everybody else thus far.
But I bet you have the same one as I do.
if this is the case, this is interesting. And he's a guy that's already been mentioned, a little higher than I had him, but he just played in a Super Bowl. I got Drake May. I think Drake May going into this year is going to light it up. Guy was a runner-up. He was top He was runner up for MVP against Stafford.
Yeah, he was
Yes.
runner up.
He was
He was
runner
the
up.
runner up for MVP in year 2, by the way. This kid's a superstar. New England's got another one. So regardless of the Diana Rossini issue in New England this offseason, they got AJ Brown. They had a pretty good draft.
That
Trevion
kid.
Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson is a nice backfield. Drake May's going to have a nice year, folks. So he is definitely number 6 on my list.
And this is where we differ.
Oh, thank God.
So you need to put the respect on the man's name in the NFC North. Jared Goff, come on, baby.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. 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 Wow.
4,500 yards, 34 touchdowns, 105 passer rating. The numbers don't lie. And I think he gets this area right here. I had 3 quarterbacks in this spot that I was kind of juggling, but I think Jared Goff, since getting the trade over to Detroit, people expected him to kind of drift away, I feel like. And this has been a renaissance for him over there. A lot of weapons, high powered offense, and every year since Detroit's been a perennial contender. So I don't see that changing. And I don't see Jared Goff's numbers dipping.
I respect it.
All right, so I missed number 5. So my number 5 was Joe Burrow. He's elite. He's the best. He's my guy.
Shiesty.
I mean, there's files upon files upon files of me just glazing Joe Burrow. So roll the tape.
Roll
Roll
the
the tape. I love
Run
it.
it back, Turbo.
Number 6 for me, different from everybody else. And this was a risky one for me. I really had to play with numbers for this one. It's probably the one I plugged and played the most with, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for this one. I have Jaden Daniels as number 6.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the kid
This
has
is why I
so
love
much-
him going last.
Wow.
The kid has so much
Wow.
talent, and I mean his season was cut short last year. I'm taking that vengeance factor into equation. I think with the pieces he has around him,
I mean, he is the second best in the division. So
correct. But
But
What,
not
6?
and not on Ray's list.
I
He
couldn't
isn't.
I couldn't go with the homer pick, right? I tried to be like this was probably my most realistic and just stat driven rankings I've ever done. Um yeah, I think Jaden Daniels is primed to have a great year. I think he's playing angry, and hopefully we don't see another RG3 scenario happen again where the kid just falls off the face of the earth. But I think if he's healthy and he's playing with the same speed and animosity he has on a regular basis, I think Jaden Daniels could be elite, and I have him in my elite quarterbacks. So
Ray, I think if Daniels had the second, like a kind of a similar year to his rookie year last year, instead of getting hurt, I would have probably had him in my top 10. To be fair,
yeah,
So.
I probably would have too, but I don't. Number 7. I have Drake May here at number 7. Runner up for MVP, 30 passing touchdowns. Took advantage of the schedule and went right to the Super Bowl. Got himself a new wide receiver 1 in AJ Brown. Super, super efficient already with the football. Elite processor of information at the line of scrimmage. There's a reason why so many teams wanted to trade up for him and grab him. I got Drake May number 7. Will be a nightmare for teams for a long time.
All right, for number 7, I don't even have to pile on what was already said by Ray because I have Jaden Daniels at 7. So I'm going to go with everything he said was correct. I think That's where he belongs. So I'm gonna go with it.
This is where I have Jalen Hurts. I think he's a winner. I think that he is has incredible endurance and toughness, and he's one of the better elite dual threat quarterbacks in the NFL. And until that changes, he's probably going to stay in my top 10.
Yeah, I don't have
Everyone listen to
either.
Dan.
I don't have either of those guys in my top 10 guys.
Me neither.
Same.
Right here I
Me
got
neither.
right here I got Mr. Justin Herbert. When healthy, when rolling, guys just he's the real deal. He could do everything on the football field. And I really do like the Chargers this year. Going into 2026, and I like Herbert. So I got him here.
I
I
don't
like that
like
pick.
I don't like Herbert, and I don't have him here. Um, Number 7, I've got. It was a toss up for me. I went with the thing that shot me over to Dak Prescott at number 7 has been the consistency. Um, he proven leader of that team, big stat guy, and I mean some of the struggles can be put at least on his shoulder because he is the quarterback, but let's face it, there's a lot of problems in Dallas that are not his fault.
They're not his fault. Yes.
And them adding Pickens last year, even with a season that had CD out for a good portion of it in the beginning of the year, still put up tremendous numbers. So yeah, I'm going Dak.
I'm going to keep it rolling. Dak is also where I have Dak right here too, and same thing Pete said. I can't say it even better than that.
Number 8. This is where I have Justin Herbert. If you wanted to build the perfect quarterback in a laboratory, you would get Justin Herbert.
Yep.
It had, it's like Dan said earlier, 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, most passing yards, most passing touchdowns to a quarterback's first 6 seasons ever. Like the stigma is, oh, he can't win. He hasn't won a playoff game, and the lights do get very bright for him. But this dude's a freak. Like this is still a freak quarterback. Eventually, it'd be very hard to convince me that he's never going to win a playoff game. So I have Herbert at 8.
Yeah, I also have Justin Herbert at number 8. On paper, everything about this guy says that he should be an elite quarterback. He just is missing a couple of the accolades at the end of the year. So let's see if he can do it now.
At number 8, I have Dak, high-end starter and unquestioned team leader, probably one of the best team leaders in the entire league. And he's a consistent player. The only thing that I guess you could knock him on is that he gets nicked up every now and then. But to me, absolutely a top 10 quarterback.
And you hit the nail on the head for me at number 8. I got Mr. Consistency, Dak Prescott. It doesn't feel right to have a top 10 without him. This guy shows up every year and just does the same thing. Throws for 4,500 yards, throws for 25, 30 touchdowns, wins tons of games. If it wasn't for his defense last year, the Cowboys probably would have been in it for the division. Their offense was insane. He was insane last year at times. Um, yeah, Dak has to be here for me at 8.
So here at 8, this is where I have Drizzy Drake May, a monster season. 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, the 113 passer rating. Um, I fought back and forth between him and Dak. I went with consistency on Dak. I would love to see Drake May just another monster year, especially with the addition of AJ Brown. Um, Kid's a leader, and New England finally has a number one wide receiver, probably their first since Randy Moss or probably I would say Randy
I would
Moss.
say Randy Moss.
At least a
Uh,
superstar.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like, all right, we have our Ferrari in the garage. Now let's put the high performance fuel in them and off to the races.
Um, I had Justin Herbert here at we're at 8, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I have Justin Herbert at 8. Like everyone said, I think there's a lot of consistency going on right here in this part of the list. These are guys that are solid quarterbacks who are getting the job done. Herbert, with talent around him, can do a lot. Um, I just think he's going to have a good year, but it's up to the team to take the next step.
All right, number 9. I actually have Brock Purdy here at number 9. He had a really good year last year, has been nothing but efficient for the 49ers. I know it very well could be, a system quarterback, but last year I think that kind of broke out a little bit. The Niners dealt with so many injuries, especially to the wide receiver position, and Purdy still put up enough numbers to take him to the playoffs and win a playoff game. So I got Purdy at 9.
Yeah, no, for number 9, this is where I have Dak Prescott. So that's 3 NFC East quarterbacks in the top 10. I think Dak Prescott's been a top 10 quarterback every year that I put him on here. So couldn't do it without him this year.
Yeah, at number 9, I have Jordan Love. Really high end starter with elite traits and incredible efficiency the last 3 years in a row. So, I mean, he's got to crack my top 10.
Really respect that pick. For me at number 9, I have Jared Goff. Kind of rolling off of what I just said about Dak Prescott. He's just another guy who's Mr. Consistent. This guy shows up every year and just slings the ball, runs a really good offense, keeps the Lions in a high-powered offense all year long, and they just contend, man. Lions are going to be good. Jared Goff's probably going to have a really good year again. And like Pete mentioned earlier, I mean, kind of a huge resurgence in Detroit, just building a really nice legacy over there.
Respect, respect. So my number 9 pick, quarterback out of the 2024 draft class, Caleb Williams. I think that he improved off of his rookie year, which was a low key, pretty stellar rookie season for a quarterback that I know we gave him a lot of shit about the mental side of this and being a leader and being consistent and um I think he still struggles with that, but I think the addition this past season of you add in Ben Johnson to the mix, I think he worked his wonders with Detroit, and I think sprinkling that with Caleb's just the physical aspect of the game with him that comes naturally. I think getting his mental right. I mean, he was 58 yards shy of being the first ever 4,000-yard passer for the Chicago Bears. So I think this is the year that those numbers uptick one more time. But yeah, I think it's promising for Chi-Town and Caleb Williams.
I also have Caleb Williams at my number 9. I'm gonna keep it rolling with Pete. I think he hit the nail on the head there. So keep it moving.
Number 10, rounding out my top 10. This is where I have Jordan Love. Like Dan said earlier, he's been incredibly efficient ever since he became a starter. Obviously, after that first year, and he got paid all that money after only playing 9 games. I know all of us were like a little bit ooh, I don't know, and he's just kind of proved that he's the real deal. He still has never had a number 1 wide receiver there. His wide receiver core is always injured. and he consistently drags that Packer offense to points all the time. So I have Love at number 10.
Yeah, rounding out my top 10, I had to put the guy who's on the Madden cover this year. That's Caleb Williams. If you're on the cover of Madden, you got to be a top 10 quarterback. That's the rules. I don't make them. You have to accept them.
I think you did. I think you did make him.
That's a great analysis. At number 10, I have Baker Mayfield, and if I could have put him higher, I would have, if I could have justified it. I love this player. I love the gritty competitor that he is. All these other players that we see get drafted by the Browns, they basically become broken and their careers are over. Not this guy. He's just as tough as they come. High end franchise quarterback, and he needs to be in my top 10.
Wow.
Interesting pick. I like it. My top 10, to round out my top 10, I have Jordan Love. He's been going over the last couple picks. Everybody's touched on Jordan Love, so I'll keep it short. Yeah, he's a high-end guy, dude. He could do it all. It's really weird watching him play football. It's like watching a clone of Aaron Rodgers. It's really, really crazy. Um, Even the throwing motion, it's literally Aaron Rodgers. So I had to put him in my top 10. So he's number 10 for me.
My number 10, and I heed and hawed about this, but I had to do it. I feel like you can't justify a top 10 quarterback ranking list without putting the quarterback from the Super Bowl winning team. So I am going with Sam Renaissance Resurgence Darnold as my number 10 pick. What a story it was for him. Flamed out of New York, bounced around a few teams, settled down in Seattle. I mean, the perfect storm with a wide receiver at the caliber of Jackson Smith and Jigba. Just put that team on his shoulders and just gritty, 4,000 yards. I mean, not the most touchdowns. His QBR, his quarterback rating the highest, but got it done when it mattered the most. And what a story. So, Sam Darnold, congratulations. You are a top 10 quarterback for me.
I really respect that. That's a great spot.
That is great.
My whole list got deleted, so I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted.
Oh no!
Oh,
What
no.
happened?
I'm dealing with major technical difficulties here, but we're recovering. At number 10,
print to PDF, bro. Print to PDF.
Listen, this is why I'm a fireman, all right? I'm a caveman. Put fire out. Technology is not my friend.
Pen to
AI,
paper.
AI will not do my job. At number 10, I have Baker Mayfield. I think Dano, your analysis of why he's number 10 is fantastic. I think he's a dog. That dog mentality really jumps the charts for me. And a lot of the guys I have lower on this list are because they just don't have that dog in them, and they fold under pressure and they whine and they cry and they diva out. So Baker is a stud. He loves adversity, and I think he thrives in adversity, and he's my number 10 guy.
Interesting.
Number
I like
11. This is where I have Jared Goff. Like Pete had said earlier, he just stuffs the stat sheets every year. Consistently over 4,500 yards almost every single season. Gets the 30 touchdown passes almost every single year. A model of consistency. You know what you're going to get with him. Really good pocket passer. And really good leader. Underrated leader of a locker room. And he's just brought stability to Detroit of all franchises, and I think that is something that is consistently overlooked, and especially for a team that's been pretty much the worst team in the history of the NFL consistently. I got him at 11.
Yeah, I also have Jared Goff at 11. I was one of the people who thought that Detroit was a major loser in the trade when they traded Matt Stafford for Jared Goff. I thought that the amount of talent decline that you were getting there was tremendous, but He's brought a lot of stability to this team, and he's proven that he's a very, very good quarterback.
Yeah, at number 11, I'm going to go Sam Darnold. For all the reasons that Pete said, a lot of players when they flame out with their original team, they don't make any kind of comeback at all. And not only did he do that, it looks like he's still a very high-end starter with elite traits and still has a ceiling to get even better than he played last year. So give me Mr. Sam Darnold here.
So at number 11 for me is a guy that I really wanted to. I wanted him to make my top 10. I have Caleb Williams here. I mean, what a season he had a year ago. The clutch genes in him, the dynamic playmaking abilities that he has are just really incredible. I mean, some of his throws are Mahomes-esque, and we always say we're never going to see another Mahomes. But the reason he didn't make my top 10 is he had some moments last year where he was definitely a little erratic and shaken. So, but I do think this year he should jump way into the top 10.
So my number 11 pick, I specifically didn't want him in my top 10, but I couldn't deny him the 11 spot, and that is Jalen Hurts. Um, Dual threat. It's-
Full
he's
threat what? Fullback?
he's the most inconsistent, consistent quarterback that the league has, and I think this year, I don't know. It's hard for me to.
It's a conundrum. Everybody could just admit
I
it.
couldn't.
Let me help
Just
you out,
say he
Pete.
stinks.
He's
I
very
couldn't
good.
put him in the top 10, but he has too much upside to not be right there.
Hmm.
So I'll leave it at that.
You
And
know he has the second best passer rating out of all quarterbacks since 2024, right?
At
I
what,
know.
what when he actually throws the ball six
when
times
he
a game?
didn't complete a
He
pass in the
he
second
has
half,
he has more passing touchdowns of 25 plus air yards than pretty much any other quarterback in the league too.
They're
I
And
know.
glazing.
he runs
They're
I
the
know,
glazing
ball,
here. We
he
might
Jason.
as
runs the
well be
ball,
working a Krispy Kreme.
and he's better
Listen,
than all your
the
quarterbacks.
facts are the facts are the facts.
Yeah, it's not 2024 anymore.
You know.
Since 2024, that's 2024, 2025.
Anyway, so since we're talking about glazing, at number 11, I can't wait for the eruption on this one. And this is why Zach makes me go last. At number 11, I have Mr. Trevor Lawrence.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's
Talking
not out
about
of control.
I
That's
don't
not
think
out of
that's,
raw,
yeah,
I
control.
don't hate that.
I don't
raw
hate it either.
talent. I
he
mean,
had him in the top 10. It's
I had the
ridiculous.
six.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
listen, he's got all the intangibles, and like he has the ability to be extremely good when he's on. It's just he's another victim of just a shit team, a shit owner with a shit situation, and he still endures. I mean, he
Uh,
keeps the Jaguars relevant, which in the world we live in is a wild thing to say.
Did he
So
get a haircut? Was that real?
no, I
Yes,
think it was AI.
it was. It
No,
looked
that
real
was
to
real.
me.
Oh,
No,
that
it
was
was
real. All
100%
right,
real.
all right. So we got a new guy coming in. No long hair.
Yeah, bro. He's not Mister Surfer Boy Trevor anymore. He's
Facts.
coming in
He
looking
didn't get a
serious.
haircut. He was wearing a wig. They cut the wig off.
Nice.
Number 12. This is where I have Caleb Williams. Yeah, Madden cover, like Jason said. Pretty much helped bring the Bears all the way to a deep playoff run. I would have him higher if he could just clean up that completion percentage. I mean, that completion percentage is still ugly to look at. And I did like how he managed the emotions a little bit better in his second year. I still think the upside to him is crazy. I got him at 12 because I like him. I like him going into this year. I think the Bears are in a great spot. I like their young wide receiver core that continues to develop. Yeah, I got Caleb at 12.
At 12, I had to go with the guy that won the Super Bowl. Like everyone else said, it's Sam Darnold. He went from team to team to team, learned from all these different head coaches, and put it all together in Seattle, and it ended up working. So at 12, I got Sam Darnold.
At 12, this is where I have Mr. Jared Goff. And admittedly, if he didn't have the supporting cast that he currently has, he might be a little lower on this list. But, you know, I have to just judge by what I see. He's mainly a play action quarterback, but he's a high end starter. He's still kind of the face of the franchise there. So, yeah, give me Jared Goff at number 12.
Yeah, so here at number 12, I have Trevor Lawrence. I like Trevor a lot going into this year. I think he's finally got his coach. The scheme's not changing on him this year. He could finally settle in. He could rip it in year two with Liam Cohen, who I believe is maybe going to come out of this season and everyone's going to talk about him as like one of the best coaches in all of football. I really think that guy is that good. Um, so yeah, Trevor's stock is up and I think it's just going to keep going up.
I just think that the Jaguars got worse this offseason. I don't know. That's just me.
I think
did
they
have
did
a
too.
terrible draft.
Yeah, I think they did too.
Duval. Number 12. This is where I have everyone's favorite choke artist. Talented, yes. Can he get the big dub? Probably not. And I'm glad to see it. I'll put Justin Herbert here at number 12. He's a douchebag, a terrible post-game interview. Just I'm so happy Max Crosby slapped him upside his head and none of his teammates came to his defense. That's how you know he's a bitch boy, but on talent, you got Miami Mike in Charger land now. We'll see what that brings. It might be able to unlock a little bit of Herbie Love bug, but Justin Herbert at 12.
At 12, I have the New York Giants starting quarterback, Jackson Dart.
Oh my God.
Listen, that kid is when you talk about the dog level of Baker Mayfield, right? And just the kid's got talent. You can say it all you want. The sophomore slump isn't going to happen. It's going to be different. It's going to be a different type of year. We have a coach that's going to unlock everything this kid's got. Jackson Dart's number 12. Bring all the hate.
I know your list deleted, but we're at 12, right? And read my hat. Read my hat.
Surrounded by Giants fans, are we?
Just saying.
This is why Zach makes me go last.
I mean, I love me some Dart, but he's nowhere near there for me. I mean, we got a lot to go before I get to
This is phenomenal. Thank you, Ray, for this.
I do too. I think I had him in a fair spot too.
Number 13 for me. This is where I have Trevor Lawrence. Really, I think had this best year under Liam Cohen. I do agree with Dan. I think the Jaguars did not get better this year. If anything, they got worse. But I really like his development and his poise under Liam Cohen. He never looked rattled once. He took command of the offense really for the first, he looked comfortable finally.
He did.
And, coaching is everything. And I think Lawrence is going to have a really nice career, maybe even with Cohen there. We'll see how that wide receiver core stacks up. We'll see how the running game is. I know they lost ETN, and I know they really liked a couple of these younger running backs, but I don't know. My stock's not that high with Jacksonville this year, but my stock is high with him. So Lawrence at 13.
All right, at 13, this is where I kind of had to put Pat Mahomes. I kept dropping him and dropping him and dropping him. I did. I dropped him a lot.
I just noticed that we haven't heard you say Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't say Pat Mahomes before. I had to.
Well, Ray hasn't said him either.
Yeah, I put him at unlucky 13 because you know what?
Jackson Dart ahead of Mahomes. Oh my God.
Pat Mahomes is coming off this massive injury. He doesn't have the pieces around him right now. I mean, his best wide receivers in and out of jail. So I have to
Thanks for
put
the
him there. I
dynasty
don't know
pick.
what he's gonna do. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
can't blame him for that though. That's
Welcome
not
to
his
the
I
fault.
don't blame
NFL.
him for that. But I'm just saying this is what he's gonna deal with. Like I I had to put him there.
Damn, bro. That's rude.
Blow up your list.
That's rude. All right, at
The
number
guy
13.
lost 40-22 in the Super Bowl. I mean, he's not that great.
Not that great. Zach, mute him.
Kick him. Get him out.
Oh boy.
Not that great.
Oh boy.
I've
That's
seen
funny.
better.
All right, at number 13 I have Drake May. This player has the potential to probably rise up my list next year. High-end starter, dual threat traits. Everybody forgets that this guy could run and very accurate. Um, I just need to see a little bit more consistency out of him for him to enter into my top 10. But he's close.
Dan, thank you for bringing us all back to reality here at the Kingdom Podcast. My number 13 is Super Bowl champion Sam Darnold. I mean, this guy's just gonna, I think, keep getting better. I like Seattle again this year. I mean, they're just loaded all over the place, and I don't see the NFC being a super dominant conference this year. I think it's top heavy. I don't think there's a lot of middle depth in the NFC this year. So I think Seattle's going to definitely go back to the postseason. I think Darnold's only going to be better this year. So I got him at 13.
At Lucky 13, this is where you bring the dog mentality in Baker Mayfield, man. Nobody epitomizes being the underdog like he does. I mean, the biggest chip on his shoulder when he plays, and he plays balls to the wall. Um, Nobody, I mean, when Brady left Tampa and then he came in, I don't think anybody expected this elevated level of play
No.
from Baker Mayfield. And for someone to step into the giant shoes that Tom Brady left, he he did it like it ain't no thing. He makes football exciting in Tampa Bay. There you go. Number 13, Baker Mayfield.
Well said, sir.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your reality because now we're back in my world.
Oh
Oh
boy.
boy.
Oh boy.
Here's where I have at number 13, unlucky 13, everyone's favorite fullback that decides to throw the ball every once in a while, Jalen Hurts. Yes, he has all the stats.
Still too high.
Jason and me actually tend to agree on a lot of quarterback rankings, which is oddly weird. But in Jalen Hurts, we completely vehemently disagree. He's does he have talent? Yes. Is he a dual threat? Yes. But there was a period of time last season where Jalen Hurts proved to be the Boo Birds in Philly were calling for his head.
He's a
And
piece of shit.
Oh, the Philly fans are not anything to really go by or take seriously,
I'm
though.
just pointing out that they were calling for his head.
Yeah, they call for everybody's head, though.
At 13, I got Jalen Hurts. And for the record, the death slide continues.
Oh my God, this is epic.
Banished from the kingdom.
This is
Both
epic.
of
I
them.
can't believe it.
That's
Because-
crazy.
Wait, do I need to do a metacognition about where I have Mahomes on my list here? Like what? I mean, I know that he hasn't been great.
I will
but-
explain when I get there.
Okay.
Number 14. This is where I have the Super Bowl champ, Sam Darnold. Had a really good postseason. I probably would have had him higher if he didn't have as many turnovers as he did last year. He actually turned the ball over a little bit too much, but luckily the defense on Seattle was so good that he just kept getting the ball right back, and he was steady. He has gotten better each year that he's been in the league. Obviously, Seattle has found their guy post Russell Wilson, and Sam Darnold's right there, right in the middle of that pack, higher end of the middle of the pack. So I got Darnold there at 14.
Yeah, this is where I have Baker Mayfield. Pretty much the most gritty quarterback in the league. I wanted to put him higher, but I just struggled to push him up any further than this. Uh, so I have Baker Mayfield at 14.
At 14, I have Caleb Williams. I think that as of right now, he has elite playmaking ability and a very high ceiling. I think the one issue that you saw with him last year was consistency in his decision making, and his completion percentage was really low. Otherwise, he would be much higher on this list.
I've been waiting all night to say this. So, at number 14, I have a guy who I guess I couldn't have a top 15 without, but I believe next year I will have a top 15 without. Jalen Hurts.
Still too high.
Enough said.
Enough said, he goes, wow.
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 That's the analysis.
Wow.
It's just pure hate and unadulterated.
Yeah.
It's just pure bias against the
Venom.
Eagles
Just
quarterback.
venom.
And listen, for the top 32 rankings, pure bias is welcome in these rankings.
At least I'll have some evidence.
Oh, no. I don't even want to spew it. I got nothing to say.
Number 14 for me, and
That's so funny.
to get the facts straight, the haircut was a fugazi. He still has the long flowing locks.
Okay. Okay. He fooled me.
Trevor Lawrence at number 14. He's been popped around already, but under Liam Cohen, he really looked confident in that offense. I don't think the franchise did him any favors this offseason, but I mean, T-Law keeps football relevant in Jacksonville. So there you have it.
The flow is alive.
Stop the clock. Stop the slide. It's time.
It's time.
It's time. I have Patrick Mahomes as my 14th ranked quarterback in this year's rankings because who can answer me when he will start and play football?
Week 1.
No later than week 4.
Okay, those are guesses. Cool.
You know what? It'll probably be week 1. He's a freak.
Okay, now let's answer my next question. When is a quarterback that has gotten that injured played well the following year?
None, but he probably could.
My other question is, when have we ever seen him?
What is he a god? Does he have like?
He's the greatest guy to ever play the game at the moment.
Those are fair. Those are fair questions.
Fair
Ray.
questions,
Yes,
but
they're fair questions.
Adrian Peterson went for 2,000 on a year after having an ACL.
Yeah.
I expect Patrick.
Steroids.
Good. Well, he's got Mahomroids. He is.
And listen, and I couldn't with in good faith put him in a high ranking position, not knowing when he's going to play football. It's his receivers. We say it every year, and I hate to keep bringing it up. We don't know who he's throwing the ball to besides Travis Kelce, who is now married and ancient and probably going to quit football midway through the year to go tour with Taylor. I just have no love for this guy. I don't see him coming back and having a strong year. Talk to me next year, maybe he's higher, but in this year's rankings, I just couldn't in good faith put him any higher than that.
That's a fair way to put it.
I respect your assessment
I
because
respect it.
you brought legitimate concern to it. So
yes,
it wasn't just some random.
We'll give you.
I hate this guy.
We'll give you.
He sucks.
We'll give you a golf clap for that.
I hate Jalen Hurts.
Rounding out my top 15 with number 15, I have Baker Mayfield. Like Jason said earlier, grittiest quarterback in the league, chip on his shoulder all the time, plays his guts out, plays hurt, plays with a messed up shoulder, messed up back, messed up ankle. It does not matter. You have to drag that dude off the field. And he's consistently put up great numbers for Tampa Bay. High passer rating, high passing yards, playoff appearances. I don't know how much I love the receiving core for Tampa Bay this year, but I still like me some Baker, number 15.
All right, number 15. This is where I have Drake May. I actually wanted to put him lower, but making it to the Super Bowl got him a bump up to 15. And I put him that low because he played a really, really, really pathetic schedule last year and made the most of it. Absolutely made the most of it. But he now gets the cancer that is AJ Brown, and he can enjoy that, have a great time, and we'll see him not in the Super Bowl next year.
Listen, I want everything that you just said to be true.
Okay.
So
I'm not high on that guy.
I do want that all to come true. Um, I would have had Trevor Lawrence in front of Caleb Williams if it had not been if I had not seen the incredible playmaking ability that Caleb Williams showed last year. But here's where I have Trevor, and for the same reasons. Franchise level starter, borderline, with elite traits and still a good ceiling, but he also has a very low completion percentage.
So to round out my top 15, this is a guy who I believe is better than 15, could be better than 15. Talent wise, he's better than 15. But he's been hurt. And I think we're going into this year with a lot of question marks on him, but he's going to round out my top 15, Jaden Daniels. I think if he stays healthy, he'll be good. The wide receivers are still a little bit of a question mark. Rumors are maybe Stephon Diggs goes to Washington. That would be a little interesting to see. He was a nice safety net for Drake May last year. So I think if they add him, we could look into a really nice year for Jaden if he stays healthy.
And Rich, you know it isn't going to be Ayuk.
No, no, he's definitely made that clear on social media. It's not going to be Ayuk. I think Diggs would be a nice fit there, though.
That's so funny.
Somebody get that man some help.
Damn.
Crazy.
My 15, somebody that has been mentioned, but only once on this list so far, struggled with injuries, but in the games that he's played, put up pretty good numbers. He's always been consistent. Brock Purdy. 2,100 yards in 9 games, 20 touchdowns, a 100 passer rating. The cast of characters over there besides CMC and Kittle. I mean, put the tinfoil hats on. You brought Mike Evans over there, who is a home run threat. Just throw it up to him in the end zone, red zone target.
Pray to God he doesn't.
If his hamstrings hold together. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Brock Purdy at 15.
That's a solid pick. I was close to putting Purdy here. 15 through 20 was the hardest for me. I think that was the absolute just hardest
Agreed.
to really gauge. And any one of these next five could be 15 through 20 for me. And it just came down to just where I saw this year going for them and the future projections with them. That's where how I rounded it out. But 15, I got Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is a solid quarterback. He has been underrated since he was drafted, and no one saw the success that he's had. He just consistently goes out there and plays good football. I mean, he Denver is relevant. Denver was in the race. Denver was in the mix, and it was because of Bo Nix and a couple young rookies that were just absolute powerhouses. So I ended up with Bo at 15.
All right. Number 16, we're halfway through, so it's only natural that we start with the halfway point. This is where I have Jalen Hurts. Easily the most polarizing quarterback amongst the fans, the media, and people within the league. He has plenty of stats that Jason will tell you that they'll say that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the world, and there are plenty of stats that tell you that he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the world. So I think he falls somewhere right in the middle. Jason pointed out a couple of good stats earlier that show how great he is. The Eagles' passing offense ranked 23rd last year. Jalen Hurts had the 20th total QBR last year, and the only quarterback in NFL history to have multiple games without a single completion in the second half last year. Definitely at minimum regressed last year. I'm sure it could have been because AJ Brown was giving problems. Is Nick Sirianni really that good of a coach?
The
Was it
offensive
really
coordinator's
all
horrible.
was it really the offensive coordinator? But there's always excuses. There's always an excuse as to why he's playing bad. And that's just always been my issue. I would take half the league over him, but then I wouldn't take half the league over him. So still has that dual threat ability. He is very strong, very tough, very durable, team leader. Those are things I've never taken away from him. But as Pete said earlier, the most consistent, inconsistent quarterback in the league currently. So I've just Hurts at 16.
And that's why I said enough said.
Except in the Super Bowl, but that's fine.
2 years
Let's see.
ago.
Number 16, I got Bo Nix here. Um, there's not really much to say about this guy. I mean, he seems like he should be a top 10 quarterback at some degree, but I couldn't put him ahead of some of these guys. But he's got the right coaching in place. We'll see how he comes back from injury, and that's where I got him. I don't got much to say about him.
Number 16, this is where I have Jaden Daniels. To me, this is the most intriguing quarterback in the NFL. I'm really excited to see what he can do. He was hurt most of last season, but incredibly efficient his rookie year. Incredibly efficient. So we'll see what he's looking like, but right now he's a middle of the pack quarterback for me.
At number 16 for me, dead smack in the middle, is a guy that's been mentioned already, Mr. Brock Purdy. To me, he's just a guy that goes out there every Sunday when healthy. Keyword is when healthy. And he just spreads the ball around, man. Doesn't matter who's out there. He gets everybody the ball, spreads it out. McCaffrey, any of the receivers. And if Big Mike can stay healthy, that's a nice little red zone target for Mr. Purdy. So um, should be a nice season for him, but I got him at 16.
So in my 16 pick, I'm torn. Um, so with that being said, I'm gonna go with my gut on this one. And 16, tip the hat, yeehaw baby. It's the last rodeo. Aaron Rodgers. I think
Wow.
I I had him flip flopped, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt in the last season. And you're not he's middle of the pack for me. So even at this stage in his career, I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Yikes. Anyway,
Yikes. Yikes. The shit I've heard on this
Oh
podcast
my
tonight.
God, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yikes.
Jackson Dart number 12. Yeah, come on.
anyway, 16, I have Brock Purdy. I think Rich, you just said it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think Rich nailed that. Why he's at number 16. I think middle of the pack. I mean, Mr. Irrelevant is now Mr. Consistent guy. The radiation waves absolutely destroying his team last year. The guy just goes out there and performs, man. He makes do with what he's got, and he gets it done. If Mike Evans doesn't fall victim to the same, radiation sickness that kills the 49ers, or CMC doesn't suck his life force from him,
That's more like it right there.
they can be good. I think it's a nice balanced team they got there, and I think Brock Purdy sitting right dead smack in the middle is the spot for him.
All right. Number 17. This is where I have Jaden Daniels. Dealt with injuries last year. Had that stellar rookie year, one of the best rookie years a quarterback has ever had in NFL history. Really, really efficient. Um, I'm just not. He's very much a question mark for me this year. What Jaden Daniels are we going to get? Are we going to get rookie year Jaden Daniels? Or are we going to get the one that's getting hurt? And Washington didn't exactly do him any favors on offense. They let Cliff Kingsbury go because he was clashing with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is already on the hot seat. The wide receiver core isn't anything to be excited about. I think he's going to have a rough year again. But he's so talented that I think he could overcome some of that, not all of that. So I have Jaden Daniels at 17.
I like that.
Fair.
At 17, this is as far as I'm letting Jordan Love drop down.
Ooh.
I've just never been a Jordan Love guy. I don't like him. I don't see the appeal. So I couldn't drop him any further.
What?
But that's where I got him.
Okay.
I can't
All right.
explain it. He's not a winner to me.
You're a hater.
I'm the hater. I'm the hater. Okay.
I provide evidence. You provide none.
Listen, in this case, I don't understand Jordan Love falling that far. But anyway, at number 17, I have Bo Nix here. I was debating whether or not I would put him above Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels had such a good rookie year that I just couldn't get myself to do it. But 2 years of really nice, consistent play, and the numbers show that. He doesn't really have elite traits. He does have a bit of dual threat ability. He does have the accuracy though, and looks like he might have the it factor in somebody who could be a franchise quarterback for years for that team.
Yeah, so for me, so for me at number 17, I got Bake Mayfield, man. He just shows up every year. I think Jason said it earlier. He's a classic grinder, man. Baker's just a grinder. He's gonna grind the defense out. For me, in my opinion, he doesn't do anything super elite, but he does everything really good. He has good decision making. He's got good football IQ. He's not a dynamic quarterback. So for me, I think he just falls a little bit further for me. But I do like Baker Mayfield. I think the Buccaneers have a nice squad. Going to probably be in contention this year, at least for a wild card spot.
So number 17, this was where my coin flip landed, and I have Bo Nix at 17 for all the reasons Dan said. Dual threat, accurate, says he's a full go. Don't worry about the ankle injury. It's not going to hold him back, he says. The addition of Waddle to that team only helps him. I hate to see it in the AFC West, but Bo Nix extends plays, and when you extend plays, that's when you get the defense. So, Bo Nix at 17.
That division's so loaded.
At 17, this is where I had Jared Goff. It pains me to put him this low. It really does. I respect you guys for having him higher up. He should be higher up. He really should. But I mean, he's in the last year he's shown regression. It's.
We watching the same tape?
Clearly, we watched football through different lenses.
Yeah.
This is my list.
Apparently,
This is my list, and I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to defend my list. This is my choice. 26, I can make my choice.
His list, his choice.
His list, his choice. Yes. Made with Optimum Online.
Well, to defend Ray for a minute, I had the same thoughts, and here's why. Again, how I made my list. I went through and I looked at the individual player. I'm not factoring in the team. What does the player do well? What does the player not do well? To me, Jared Goff he's kind of being cushioned a little bit here. I'm not sure if he's quite as good as the talent around him is showing right now, and I'm going to give you evidence of that with another player. Y'all are going to flip out when you see where I have one of this player, by the way. Y'all are probably going to flip on me, but that's fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you got to take into effect every person we're talking about, everyone that has that is on a list, right? They hit a peak, and after that peak, there is a regression and a downslope. I think we have seen the best we've seen of Jared Goff. I don't see Jared Goff getting any better. I don't see him shocking the world with the Detroit Lions. And I think we've seen the best we can get. And everything I see right now, everyone I've listed prior to him has more to offer, is better than him. And just, he's middle of the pack. 17 isn't a bad spot to be in. You're
I
in the
agree.
you're in the middle of the pack. So prove me wrong. I mean, this is why I don't get paid to make $1 million analytical decisions, but that's where I got him.
I
Man, I
respect
wish
it.
you would. It would be awesome.
I respect it, Ray. I do.
Number 18 for me, this is Raya Bonix, for pretty much same reasons that's been said. There's nothing about him that he does. There's no elite traits. He doesn't have a big arm. He's not a super big guy. He's not, fast or anything like that, but he is damn accurate. And he does have the clutch gene. Has a little bit of that it factor. Played really well in the playoffs before Sean Payton broke his ankle on a stupid play call. But I got Bo Nix right in the middle of the pack. I do see him maybe getting better. Waddle's there now. Maybe the passing stats go up even more for him. But I like this kid's future. He came in as an upperclassman, came in older, 24 years old as a rookie. That's older than most quarterbacks that come in. But he was clearly pro ready right out of the gate. So Bo Nix at 18.
At 18, this is where I have Daniel Jones. And I have him this high because before his injury, he had 3,100 passing yards. He had over 100 quarterback passer rating. He doesn't get hurt. Who knows? He could finish MVP in the league. You never know. So I have Daniel Jones. He switched teams. He found the right scenery. Maybe they unlock something that he's actually a pretty good quarterback.
I do think
Yeah,
he's a
be a
good
hater.
quarterback. I do think that he's better than where I have him on my list. The problem is that when is he going to play? Because I don't know.
Right.
I have at number 18 CJ Stroud. Now, this is where it got really difficult for me. From 18 through 24 is where I really struggled with this list. But, when you look at the regular seasons that he's had, good efficiency. I understand everybody's going to point to the poor postseason performances, and that's why he's 18 on the list. In the latter half for quarterbacks, and still has a high ceiling, still has the potential to be that franchise guy, but this is pretty much it for him. This is a make or break year.
Yeah, so here for me at 18, I have Bo Nix too. A lot of what Zach touched on, so I won't hang on it too much. You're watching him playing Sean Payton's offense. It looks very similar to Drew Brees. I describe the both of them as dart throwers. I feel like they're just always throwing darts all over the field because they're super accurate guys, both of them. Just always darting it up. But yeah, the only thing with him and the only reason I didn't have him higher, it's not that I don't think he's going to have a good year. That leg injury was a little gruesome, and a picture came out about a month or two ago, and his leg doesn't really look so pretty. So I'm a little concerned about him hitting the football field this year.
Hmm.
But I like him as a player. So if he rehabs and hopefully stays healthy, he's gonna probably be up on my list next year.
So number 18 for me, making my list. And I looked at it and I went, am I really doing this at 18? And now, after hearing another person speak, I'm really questioning, am I really doing this? Number 18, Daniel Jones. But the change of scenery, he was a completely different quarterback. He was waste paper when he left the New York Football Giants and came to Indianapolis, and he was front page news because that team, before he got hurt with his first injury, the fibula injury, they were a 7-1 football team marching their way to the playoffs. And then the injury. And then the real injury. And then he went down for the year. And that team folded like a wet suit. I mean, I don't know what this year is going to look like, but the Daniel Jones that I saw play in Indianapolis, he could play on my football team. I think 18 is the perfect middle of the road spot for old Danny Dimes.
Well said.
Garbage.
This is my
Ray, I
list,
agree.
my choice.
Yeah, this is where all right. Well, this is where my venom speaks. Daniel Jones is a piece of trash and should be put out to the curb like the rest of them. At 18, I have Sam Darnold. Again, super tough pick. I mean, we can talk about Sam Darnold and the last good years he's had. He's had a few good years, but the past weighs heavy for me. And I will never forget the New York Jets, Sam Darnold. And I mean, I'm calling it a fluke. I don't know. I'm glad he got a ring. I'm glad he brought it there. But for me to put Darnold back into a higher caliber tier of quarterback, and to me to rank him higher on a list, you got to be consistent. Consistency is such a key in the way I weigh things, and taking Super Bowl winning quarterback Sam Darnold and Jets quarterback Sam Darnold, and you mash them together and you make something of it, and you get an 18th ranked Sam Darnold for me.
For number 19, this is where I have Daniel Jones. Yeah, and so Pete's Ray's favorite quarterback. That me and him have had endless debates over the years. But Pete's right. When he left the Giants, he was a completely different quarterback. The bright lights of New York were just not the fit for him, and they were 7-1 with him. And then he broke his leg and tried playing on a broken leg, and it was just the perfect spot for him to be in. I don't know when he's going to play football again either. He does have that dual threat ability, but durability is a real question for him now. That's why I have him at 19.
All right, 19. This is where I have Jackson Dart. I had to put him in the top 20. I had to put him ahead of people like Brock Purdy and CJ Stroud because I think they suck. But I don't think Jackson Dart sucks. I think that Jackson Dart has a lot of moxie. He's very much on the level of like Baker Mayfield, in my opinion. So I had to rank him this high, even based on his limited playing so far.
He watched him beat the shit out of his Eagles on national TV and went dark for 3 days afterwards. That's what made him do this.
At 19, and I was really trying to figure out where to fit this player in, but Aaron Rodgers, I mean, Hall of Fame resume, yeah, he's an old man. He's a shell of himself, but at times still looked good last year. Still has that potential to be a top 20 quarterback.
Well, Jason, what do you know? I tell you your quarterback stinks. Me and you agree on mine. All's good in the world. Number 19, Jackson the Kid. Yo, year 2, it's going to be really, really good, man. I'm going to call it on the podcast right now. I think I'm going to have him in my top 10 next year. Just saying.
Shocking.
Mm.
Shocking.
Mm.
Number 19 for me is a guy that he doesn't get the love that he deserves. At number 19, we're gonna go Jordan Love.
Wow.
He it's low on my list, but he's not.
Guards arrest him.
You have
He's
Daniel
not wrong.
Jones ahead of
That's
Jordan
right, I do.
Love.
That's right, I do. I have 7
Are
and
we
1
kidding?
Danny Jones ahead of Jordan Love.
It's his list.
It's my list. It's my way.
Fine.
But yeah, no,
Oh, man.
he's a good quarterback. He's not great. He could be great. The talent around him fails him. Yeah, we'll go with that. 19 for Jordan Love.
And I'm going to keep it rolling because I also have Jordan Love at 19. And you could say all you want. This guy hasn't proven a fucking thing. Yeah, okay. We talk about numbers, right? He has a limited number
Doesn't he
series.
have
Yeah,
3 road
you're gonna
playoff wins?
flame me.
Uh,
You're gonna flame me because I have Jackson Dart at 12. But there's a difference in the eye test when you look at Jackson Dart and you look at Jordan Love.
yeah, one's a much better passer.
Oh, okay. All right. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them and some think.
All right.
Well
We'll
said.
see.
But no, I to piggyback off of that, he does play well, but he's not he's not elite.
Hmm.
Okay.
I would
Okay.
love to hear a debate on why Jordan Love is such an elite talent. He's proven nothing. He's done nothing. The Packers always play well. They have the ultimate home field advantage. The
Packers
coach,
played well with Malik Willis. Just saying.
yeah, exactly. They have an elite coach. I think Green Bay is a system, and I think most people in that system would flourish. And I think we're seeing this effect of Jordan Love just being flamed by the media, and everybody builds him up, and he doesn't meet expectations.
Okay. I vehemently disagree, but we'll move on. Um, Number 20, this is where I have Jackson Dart. So pretty similar to Jason and Rich, kind of in the 20s area. 9 rushing touchdowns, 12, yeah, he had over 20 total touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. A little bit of a reckless play, young player. We got adults in the room. Maybe we'll calm him down, teach him how to play football the right way, and have him do Jackson Dart way. Harbaugh has history with being able to coach dual threat quarterbacks. No quarterback did more with less than Jackson Dart did last year. So I have him at 20. I would be shocked to see a sophomore slump, especially with this kind of coaching staff in place. Not having Malik Neighbors for about a month is probably going to hurt. But they upgraded other other pass catchers around him, upgraded the offensive line. This dude has the it factor if I've ever seen it. He's got moxie, like Jason said. He might be the next great quarterback in the league, but he needs to show it first. So I have him at number 20.
Yeah, rounding out my top 20, this is where I finally put Brock Purdy. I really do think this guy stinks, but he's won enough games to keep himself in the top 20. So that's all I'm going to say on this guy.
Jason,
I really don't like him.
I kind
really
of agree. I kind of agree with you, actually.
Just love the way you
Thank
said
you.
it. This guy
Yeah, I
stinks.
mean, well, you look at the stats, and nothing jumps off the page at all. So, and he doesn't do anything really well. Um, at number 20, I tried to keep everything in perspective here. This is a list for the season 2026, right? Kyler Murray. Call me crazy. All right. I think that there's plus dual threat and plus accuracy despite the size concerns. I understand everybody's going to say, well, he's a midget on the football field. Well, he's still probably better than 85% of the quarterbacks in the entire league at his size. So, yeah, Kyler Murray at 20, and I think you're going to see a bit of a resurgence this year.
So I just want to reiterate one thing Dan just said. This is a list going into 2026. This is a guy that I do believe when we end the season is going to be a top 20 quarterback. So I wanted to have him at 20. And Pete, I don't want to steal your thunder, but I have Nando here at number 20.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I think this
Okay.
kid is just going to come in. Maybe he doesn't start the first couple weeks, but by week 4, he's taking snaps under center. Dude, this kid's just going to win. I just really have a feeling he's going to win. He's going to continue the story that he was doing in college. I'm a believer.
Keep
He's going to be number 20.
Keep talking, Rich.
I love Fernando.
Getting me hot in here
I love
right
him.
now.
I love him.
I love Fernando.
I fucking love Fernando too. However, I don't think it's not his time on my list. At 20, when you talk about swag and having it, Jackson Dart just kicked in the door and just shouted to everybody, I'm Jackson Dart. I'm here and I'm going to do this thing my way. Um, is that going to lead to long-term consistency? I think he has to not completely change his style of play, tweak it. A little bit safer, but
John
he
Harbaugh.
he jumped off the page at me last year. He has everything you want to be your guy, the starting quarterback, the main guy, QB1, whatever you want to say, the leader of the team. I think I think his attitude will rally the New York Giants around him. Excited to see what he does in a full year. I said that he should have started from week one last year. I'm not wrong. Um, so Jackson Dart, the keys are in your hand.
So we're a few picks away from me being in my I absolutely hate these people category. But we're not there yet. It's been said before at number 20, I had a few people here, and I have to put Aaron Rodgers here just because of the resume alone. I mean, it's his last go around. Like he's what 42 this year. It's the end, and he shows flashes of being able to manage. I mean, Pittsburgh is the ultimate 500 team. They just go out there and they don't have losing seasons. We might be on the precipice of one. There's no more Mike Tomlin in the room. It's going to be a different year for Pittsburgh. There's just a lot of question marks for me. But I couldn't, in good faith, put Aaron lower than a top 20 quarterback just because of who he is. So Aaron Rodgers is my number 20.
21. This is where I
Respect.
have Tyler Shuck of New Orleans. He had a pretty good rookie year last year. Won a couple of games for him. Sneaky dual threat ability. Pretty sneaky dual threat ability. Had a decent amount of rushing touchdowns. Clearly plays well in Kellen Moore's system. Also an upperclassman. Came in very late out of Louisville. Older than most quarterbacks that usually come out of the draft. So he was already mature enough and ready enough. Has the intangibles. Has a decent enough arm. Nothing about him is elite or that jumps off the page and you go, wow, look what he did. But he just gets the job done, and he proved it last year on a Saints team that doesn't really have a whole lot of talent, but not a whole lot of upside with a guy like Shuck. So I think the floor is high with him, but not a super high ceiling. So I have him at 21.
Yeah, you know what, Zach? You kind of took the words right out of my mouth because at 21, I also have Tyler Shuck. And sneaky dual threat ability is really what I was going for as well. Um, he has the right weapons, I think, right now, and the ability to kind of break off a 20, 30-yard run is in his wheelhouse. But yeah, the ceiling, I don't know how high the ceiling is yet. Maybe another year or two. But 21, Tyler Shuck.
At 21 for me, this is where I have Jackson Dart. Plus dual threat ability with really nice traits, a team leader, guy with all the confidence, all the moxie in the world. That's exactly what you want to see. But for me, it's play style concerns. Is he going to have a short shelf life in the NFL because he refuses to not try to run over somebody twice his size? I don't know. It's been reported that the first meeting that they had with him, this new coaching staff, was literally about watching the tape and figuring out what decision you should have made by the end of this play, at the end of this run. So Hopefully they talk sense into him so that we could see him rise up my list.
So at 21 for me, a guy that had some severe regression last year and literally threw his team away from moving on in the postseason. I got CJ Stroud here. I don't know. I don't really know what to think. I don't know if he's going to get any better. I don't know if the regression gets worse. But based on what I saw last year, I'm not excited about him as a player anymore. I think stock is definitely down for him. And unless I see some serious growth out of him, uh, I'm going to continue on the downtrend with him.
So at 21, this is where I have the Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels. I think high potential, um, proved it his rookie year. The injuries and the inconsistencies year two. Um, it just, I don't know, has RG3 vibes all over in Commander Land. Um, but easily could be back in the top 15 with a solid season this year. It's like a prove it year. Um, so yeah, Jane Daniels 21.
I'm gonna hop on the Zach and Jason bandwagon. I have Tyler Shuck at 21. I think that's a perfect spot for him. Kid's a game manager. I mean, like you said, he's the ceiling's not high, but he's in that like Alex Smith realm of quarterbacks that can just go out there, manage the game, play at his speed, slow it down enough to win a couple games with what's around you, and might win more than expected. He's one of those guys that can make the Saints, sneaky competitive. And I think that division's dog crap, but it's a good spot for him to be. I think he's got, he can exist in the league for a couple of years and end up as a career backup somewhere in a couple and down the line, or see what he can do.
22. This is where I finally have CJ Stroud. Kind of like what Rich said, the regression last year was really frightening. Threw his team completely out of a playoff game with 4 interceptions. Um, he has never been as good as he was as a rookie ever since his rookie year. Every single year has been a slow decline, win wise, stat wise. And even health wise. This is a make or break year for CJ Stroud. I hope he does well. The league is good when there's more good young quarterbacks, but I'm really worried about him going into this year. So I have him down to 22. The ceiling is still there, the potential is still there, but this is it. This is it for me.
Yeah, this is also where I have CJ Stroud, and I agreed with you almost all the way there, Zach, until you said the potential is still there. The potential's not there. It's gone. It was gone in year two, and it's not coming back. They invested way too much into this guy, and the Texans kind of have to eat that. And that's what we're going to see for the remainder of his contract. And then they can move on and do something else.
22, this is where I have Brock Purdy. I wanted to put him lower, couldn't justify it. I want to be fair here. He has been a consistent performer despite the injury, getting nicked up here and there. His stats are really low. I mean, I couldn't think of an easier place for a quarterback to play than the San Francisco 49ers. And there just isn't anything that jumps off the page with me. I mean, everything is so easy for this guy. Literally, placed on a pillow, coddled as much as you could possibly be coddled. So, 22.
Yeah, for me at 22, Tyler Shuck. Everybody kind of just touched on him. I'm not going to hang on it too much. Ray, really love the Alex Smith comparison for him. Super good game manager, a guy that's going to probably keep the Saints competitive in football games. I just don't think they're there yet as a team. They're probably not a team we're going to be talking about rolling into January. But we'll see. I like him as a high floor, low ceiling guy, like everybody else said. So he's my guy at 22.
I too have the Mother Sugar as our 22nd pick here.
Wow.
Consistent, I think, just consistent play when he was in there. He got a full season out of Olave. Olave looked great. They had good chemistry. Um, I think I based him at 22, um, with the potential to for growth, year two, and I think that potential puts him ahead of a few a few of these other people that are at the tail end of this ranking.
I guess I'm back to reality because I'm hopping on the bandwagon again. And at 22, I have CJ Stroud. At the exact Jason hit the nail on the head. Not much more to talk.
Wow.
23, this is where I finally have Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he's an old man now, shell of himself. But still could probably sling it better than most. I just don't know what he's going to look at this. I just don't know how he's going to perform this year. I know DK is still there. I know they have Michael Pittman now. I don't know what the Steelers are going to look like post Mike Tomlin. And I really don't know what he's going to look like at 42. I know he played pretty decent last year, and it was enough to kind of sneak in. But I don't. This one was hard for me. So I have Rodgers at 23.
At 23, this is where I have Kyler Murray. I think what was said before about him was correct. I think that going into this year, if he's the starter week one, I think he has the ability to make a run with this team and win a lot of games. I think that the Cardinals really weren't the right fit for him. I think going to Minnesota, he has the right coach to get him the extra level he needs to make the next jump. So I think 23 is a fair spot for him.
23, this is where I have Malik Willis. Um, Not a lot of information, right? But if you look at just the stats and the eye tests and all that stuff, I mean, amazing completion percentage and efficiency during his playing time. So this is a player that could, at the end of the day, really jump on this list, depending on the year that he has this year.
Yeah, so for me at 23, I got Aaron Rodgers, just like Zach. Um, I don't know, man. I get it. He played decent ball last year. He got a little nicked up. I don't think he missed any significant time or missed any games, but I just think he played a little bit hurt. What are we really going to get out of him at this stage in his career? I mean, new coach in Pittsburgh, Mike McCarthy and Rodgers back together again. I just I don't know if he makes it through the full year. I'm going to be honest, but I have to have him at 23 above some of these other guys at the tail end of my list.
Yeah, 23, I'm going with familiar face, new place. Dan hit him on the head before. Kyler Murray. I think him going to Minnesota, he immediately becomes the number one quarterback option in Minnesota. And then put his, he's had spurts of great play. Mix in the QB whisperer as your head coach. I think that only benefits him. Keep him away from a PlayStation or an Xbox when Grand Theft Auto comes out in November, and you might you immediately upgrade um, Justin Jefferson, Addison with a good quarterback. I think they played down as opposed to playing up. I think the gap between McCarthy and Murray is significant, and Murray is 23 on my list. So yeah,
I
Murray.
think I think Grand Theft Auto is getting delayed, so he might benefit from that.
I also have Kyler Murray at 23, and this begins my I absolutely hate the rest of these players list. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I think you guys nailed it with why he's 23 and everything, his upside and why he's there. But 23, Kyler Murray.
All right, 24. This is where I have Kyler Murray. He's in the perfect situation for a resurgence in his career. The character concerns are still there for me. That's why I have him at 24. Has multiple points of evidence of him giving up on the Cardinals himself. But he's in a great situation. I think he is better than JJ McCarthy. I think the local taxi driver is better than JJ McCarthy. So I think he wins the job pretty easily and brings some new dual threat ability to Minnesota, something that they haven't had maybe in a long time, maybe ever. Who knows? Could be really, really good. Uh, could be really bad. So I have him at 24.
At 24, this is where I finally put Aaron Rodgers. And I wanted to put him lower, but the rest of the guys on this list are probably going to finish last in their division and win 3 games total. So this guy at least has a chance to make the playoffs this year on his final run. So Aaron Rodgers, 24.
24, this is where I have Daniel Jones. The injuries absolutely destroy him on my list this year. Otherwise, I agree with what most of you said. I love the player. I think that he has the right mindset, toughness, dual threat ability, accuracy, down the field, all of it that you want. But bad year for a bad injury.
Yeah, for me, I got Kyler Murray here. Like everybody touched on, every year we walk into the NFL season and there's usually a guy that's a candidate for a big resurgence, and he's the guy going into 2026. This might be the best team on paper he's ever played with. Arizona didn't ever really put much around him besides a bust of a first round pick, Marvin Harrison. So I'm excited to see what could happen, but it's a 50-50 for me. It's either going to go one way or the other. There's not going to be an in between.
So at 24 is where the Fernando Oregon lands, baby, because the rest of the people on the list are either question marks or they're big pieces of shit. And I couldn't let my boy Fernando go behind anymore because at 24 is the perfect spot for him. He will be, and mark my words, boom, right now, week 1, Fernando Mendoza is your starting quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. And what he does, I have no fucking idea, but I'm excited. He's a first overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner, national champion. Throw it all, baby. Number 15. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect your mentality, but I've been friends with Dano for way too long, and I cannot put rookies anywhere in this realm. I can't do it. I can't. Dano has ruined that for me, and I can't put rookies that high. But I respect it, and I agree. I hate every single quarterback on the rest of this list, minus Fernando Mendoza, and that's what I'll leave it at that. But at 24, I have Cam Ward. Um, Again, we got to watch Cam Ward in person, and I think he's a trash quarterback in the worst NFL stadium in the world. So
Shit, poverty level franchise.
yeah,
Poverty.
I might fly to Nashville when that stadium gets demolished, just so I could spit and possibly piss on it in its rubble form. I hate that stadium so much.
Put salt on it so that nothing could grow there again.
Yes.
What stadium upgraded you?
Oh, the Allegiant, the Las Vegas upgrades me
That's
every time,
right, baby.
But yeah,
that's an amazing place.
I think Cam Ward is again, the guys on the rest of my list, they're in their make or break category, and this feels high to even put Cam Ward here. But I think this is his prove it year. You've had enough time in the league now to, you should be at game speed. It's tough when you get drafted in that level and you got to go out there and perform. And I feel bad for all number 1 drafted quarterbacks that have to go out there and perform immediately, because I just think it's a recipe for disaster. So I'm giving Cam Ward a shot here, saying I hope you meet expectations finally and show that you have the talent we expect you to have, but we'll see.
Number 25, wrapping up the top 25. This is where I have Cam Ward. Um, really, really rough rookie year. I understand he didn't have a lot around him, but no quarterback did less with less around him than Cam Ward last year. New coaching staff this year. He does have Brian Dable in his year, quarterback whisperer. They did give him some more weapons on offense. I'm just still not a big believer yet. I want to see him put it together because from what we saw last year, it just really wasn't good, like at all. And, I don't see it getting any worse, but, you hope it gets better. Like I said, there have been some improvements. He is a very hard worker from what I've read. He lives in the film room. So if anyone who can be successful for Tennessee, it definitely can be for him. But right now, I'm not high on him.
All right, this is where I have Bryce Young going. Um, Not much to say about this guy. I mean, he's not a good quarterback. The team's not good, but it's a terrible division. And we saw, given the opportunity in the playoffs, Bryce Young was actually able to stick around and make a decent shot at winning a playoff game. So I have to give him kudos for that. And I mean, that can't go unnoticed. So I'll put him there on my list.
25, I have Tyler Shuck. Couldn't possibly put him ahead of Daniel Jones because I just think Daniel Jones is a better player than him. But I think he shows a lot of the same kind of abilities that I saw from Daniel Jones when he first came into the league, except Jones is a much better runner. Good ability to process. I just think more info is needed on this player.
Yeah, 25. This is where I have Cam Ward. Um, I, number one overall pick, right? Didn't really look like a number one overall pick. Hasn't looked like a number one overall pick. Kind of looked lost. I mean, I get it. Tennessee didn't have much. Um, but I guess I put him at 25 over some of these other guys because of the fact that he's a number one overall pick. So we'll see. I don't know if he's going to have an up year from last year though. That's for certain. Even if Brian Dable's there.
25, I have an unknown and kind of excited about him. Malik Willis played well when he had the opportunity in Green Bay. This is his chance to finally be the number one. So 25, Malik Willis.
Let's see. At 25, I have Bryce Young. Again, I think it was summed up perfectly. He he's shown flashes of competent quarterback play, but not much. I have more faith in him than the rest of the list. That's all.
That's fair.
All right, 26. This is where I have Bryce Young. Dave Canales has definitely helped uh, Bryce Young show flashes. I mean, we saw a little bit of him being pretty decent, but they didn't pick up his fifth year option. There's just nothing there. I don't think there ever was anything there. I think that was their new owner's first rash decision when he first bought the team. He's obviously since taken a much smaller, more backseat role like he should. And I think he's learning his lesson and letting the people that he hire run the team. And there were a couple games where Bryce Young looked good, but for most of the year, he still did not look, he just didn't look like he belonged for most of the year. So I have Bryce Young at 26.
At 26, this is completely contingent on whether or not he works out his contract dispute with the Cardinals. But I have Jacoby Brissett here. He stepped in and he put up pretty good numbers for a team that sucks. And uh, he's been around the league. He's been around a lot of teams where he's played and stepped in and made an impact. So I couldn't disrespect him by putting him last. So at 26 is where I got him.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. I think the only reason I have Bryce Young ahead of him is because he's still a young player. I'm trying to be fair. I think that he did ascend a little bit last year, compared to what he did as a rookie. So Yeah, Bryce Young for me at 26.
Yeah, so for me at 26, this is where I have Daniel Jones. I just don't know if he's going to stay healthy. I know the guy had a really solid year last year when he was healthy. But one thing that's been failed to mention every time we've talked about Daniel Jones, and I promise I'm not being a hater because I'm a Giant fan, is Jonathan Taylor was also sick last year. Are we going to get that again behind him? I don't know. I don't know if you get that same year out of Jonathan Taylor. And I think that played a huge role in how well he played because a lot of his success was on play action and rollout plays because they were worried about the run. So if I don't know if he stays healthy, but if he does, I still don't know if his season's going to be that great.
I think you're still going to worry about the run in Indy no matter what. But at 26, I also Jacoby Brissett, journeyman. When his number gets called, he plays. So, um, I mean, he's tail end, but I think he's better than the options that remain.
Yeah, I also have Jacoby Brissett here, and for exactly what Pete said, he plays football. I wouldn't call it manageable. I wouldn't call it good. It's just he's a plug and play. The Cardinals are clearly in Arch Manning or Dante Moore sweepstakes, and they're just moving the ball down the field till next year.
For number 27, I was going to put Kirk Cousins. Rich and Pete convinced me. I will put Fernando Mendoza here at 27. I like him better than the rest of the quarterbacks here. I know I usually rank rookies dead last, but I think Fernando is probably good enough to be better than the rest of this list, especially after the historic run that he just had at Indiana. There probably is a good chance that he's the week one starter because he's ready. I don't know. I'm just having fun at this point. I'll put Fernando at 27.
Oh,
At 27, this is where I put Cam Ward. He's a number one overall pick, not for any particular reason because that class was just not good. Um, so yeah, that's all I got to say about that guy.
27, this is where I have Jacoby Brissett. Um, yeah, I mean, he was decent and okay as a first-time starter last year, and I think he'll probably just be decent and okay again.
So for me at 27, I have an interesting one. If he starts, I don't know. I'm going to say he does if he's healthy. I got Tua Tagovailoa here.
Hmm.
Atlanta's got a good offense if he could somehow not get his brain scrambled and end up in the 10th 30 million times. I mean, Drake London's there, Kyle Pitts is there, Bijan's behind him. He could have a nice year if he stays healthy. So, I mean, I'm gonna put him here over a couple of these other guys at the end because I think if he's on the field, the upside's better than some of these other dudes.
number 27, and my biggest fall off from last year, CJ Stroud.
Ooh.
I think there was a severe regression, and he regressed the year previous. Um, Ever since he told old Caleb Williams, "Hey man, you keep your head on your shoulders. It'll be okay." It has been just free fall. Um, the bottom has dropped out, and he is a man without a parachute right now. I would not be surprised if you're saying that the Houston Texans are in the market for a quarterback after this season.
Hmm.
I think it could absolutely happen. So yeah, 27, CJ Stroud.
At 27, I have Malik Willis. Again, Dano nailed it earlier. There's a very small stat line we can go off of here, but The numbers are fine. I mean, he's a serviceable quarterback. He can win games. He's proven to go out there and play competent football, and I think that matters because I think the rest of this list cannot play competent football. 27, I got Malik Willis.
28. This is where I have Malik Willis. For pretty much what you guys said, very limited sample size. Whenever he has come in relief, he has won. He has had good numbers. I just don't know if that's going to translate to a full-time starter role in the dumpster fire that is Miami. And I don't really know if I was a huge Malik Willis guy to begin with. I just think this is a backup quarterback, and that's just his role. I don't think he's really a full-time starter, but we'll see what happens. I have him at 28.
Yeah, 28. This is where I have Tua Tagovailoa, assuming he's the starter for Atlanta, and assuming that his brain doesn't just melt into mush before the season starts. But when healthy, I mean, he's accurate as hell, so got to go for that.
At 28, this is where I have Fernando Mendoza. And yes, Ray, in years past, I've always had my rule about rookie quarterbacks, and I do not put them on pedestals. This is the most excited I've been about a rookie quarterback, and I'm not saying that they have the same abilities at all, so don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about my love for the person. Joe Burrow was the last time I was this excited for a quarterback coming into the NFL. I really think that this guy has all the its that you want, man. I really do. So, 28, winning pedigree and a team leader. I do think Kirk Cousins is going to start, but as soon as he gets hurt, this guy's going to take it over and he's never going to relinquish it.
So for me at 28, I guess assuming he plays, right? Because according to Instagram, like a month ago, he was beefing with his girlfriend or something. But Geno Smith, yeah, I think compared to the rest of these guys on the list, he's at least going to bring some veteran-esque leadership, I guess, to the Jets locker room. And we've probably seen him play better football than some of the other guys I haven't mentioned yet. But we'll see, I guess. I don't know. Good for him back in New York.
That guy stinks. 28, Bryce Young. He stinks too.
I'd say that about
28,
everybody else on this list.
28, I'm with Dano. I got Fernando / Kirk Cousins here. Again, I put a slash here just because I do think Kirk starts a couple games, let Fernando get that game speed caught up. If he needs it, I mean, I don't think he does need it. I think I think Dano, you hit the nail on the absolute head. I think besides Burrow, he's coming out just ready to play, and he can make a meteoric rise on this list by just playing solid football. And I think the Raiders need that kind of solid quarterback play desperately. And hopefully Pete sees a little bit of fun this year.
God, listen.
God, they need to protect him.
I need
Yes.
it. And you know what? Tyler Linderbaum, you were the man for the job. But yeah, he's a computer. He's ready to go.
29. This is where I have Jacoby Brissett. Just a solid veteran journeyman. Has never really played horrible football. Has always played okay football to decent football. Has had a couple of really good games last year. But he's a journeyman. This is what he is. Career backup, career journeyman. 29.
29. This is where I have Deshaun Watson. I mean, listen, the guy was absolutely amazing before he had a lot of rape and other charges against him.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Actually, no, they weren't. Some of them were not alleged.
When you
Guilty is charged.
Settling is not an admission of guilt, but in this case, it is.
But listen, they got Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston there. Maybe this brings him back to what he used to be. And at this point, it's better than the unknowns that are remaining on the list here. So
At 29, this is where I had Cam Ward, and I wanted to put him higher just to cause a stir with every one of you. Because he was sacked 55 times last year, running for his life on literally every play. The team is an absolute dumpster fire. And guess what? He had a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. I actually think that I'm making a mistake only having him at 29 here.
Solid.
That team stinks.
All right. Me, Jacoby Brissett. My issue with him is he's a stat patter. He's like Russell Westbrook, man. He just gets all of his garbage time points. It's good for fantasy, but it's not good for real football.
At 29, you know it's not good for real football? Tua Tagovailoa.
At 29, my Daniel Jones despisement comes to an end. I mean, it doesn't come to an end because I absolutely think he's a garbage player. I think what you saw was an absolute flame out. I think Rich hit the nail on the head. You had one of the best offensive lines in football. You had Jonathan Taylor running amok and Daniel Jones just absolutely capitalizing and just feasting on just opportunistic play. And you'll never see that again. That kid's not going to come back after that leg injury and play the same level of football he was playing. He's not going to rise higher than any of you have him on your list. He will be lower, if not off any lists next year.
You guys see the smoke coming out of Ray's ears?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the bias portion of
100% bias, Venom. I despise him.
Wow, that's crazy. Number 30. This is where I have Tua.
Daniel Jones is stuck in a tree on fire.
Sorry, call someone else.
Yeah, number 30, I got Tua. I really like the Falcons as a team. I just can't trust Tua at all. I mean, he wasn't really able to do anything anymore towards the end of his tenure in Miami, and it's not like the weapons that he had went away. He still had the weapons there. I don't know if it's the injury history. I don't know if he's now become scared. I don't know what it is. He's always been accurate, but I don't trust him at all. I mean, I know they got Kevin Stefanski. I think the rest of that team is ready to win, but Tua is just not it. I got Tua at 30.
yeah, at 30, this is where I have the Kirk Cousins / Fernando Mendoza duo. I think they split the season. I don't see Kirk Cousins being really anything better than Mendoza is coming in as a rookie, so they're just flip flop for me.
Number 30, this is where I have Geno Smith. I just think he's a little better than Tua. He has had a very up and down career, you know, zero point 0.5 touchdown to interception ratio. He has had flashes on teams that can support him. He is not a very mature guy. We all know that. Very immature. I don't think the team leader stuff sticks at all. I still think that he could be a productive player on a team that supports him.
If for me, this is where I have Bryce Young. I don't know, man. This might be the year where Carolina finds out it's time to move on from the kid. I know they went to a playoff game last year and they just barely snuck in. I don't even think they were playing 500 ball. They made it in
They
at
had a
7-9
losing, yeah, they had a losing record.
or
Yeah.
7-10 or 8-9 or whatever.
Mhm.
But either way, they had a losing record. I don't see them back in contention for the postseason this year. They don't really have a good roster. I don't believe in him. This is probably his last year dressing up for Carolina. That's my opinion on him.
number 30, Cam Ward. He stinks.
At 30, I have Geno Smith. I think, Dan, you just hit the nail on the head. You know, back in New York, barely, season hasn't even started yet, and he's already in the headlines, just absolutely melting down.
Clown.
The team is the New York Jets. They haven't supported a quarterback there in how long? I mean, you would know more than anybody else. So I just don't have high hopes. I think this is again, I think this is a team praying to God they end up at the top of the Arch Manning Dante Moore sweepstakes. So
Number 31. This is where I have Geno Smith. Pretty much for all the same reasons. No veteran leadership, already having off the field issues before training camp even starts, has led the league in interceptions for the last 2 years. Um, we're going to see a lot of Cade, the rookie Cade, I think, this year for the Jets.
Yeah, this is where I got Geno Smith. Listen, he's back in New York. Yippee.
Where are we at? 30?
31.
31. 31 is where I have Tua. I think he's slightly ahead of Michael Penix. And, he's just had better success. He's probably a better NFL quarterback than Penix, despite the injury history.
Yeah, for me here at 31, I have Malik Willis, man. I don't believe, I don't understand the contract. I get it. He played a couple okay games in Green Bay in relief for Jordan Love, but we saw him play 8 games in Tennessee, and the guy did not look like an NFL quarterback. So maybe he's changed. Maybe he could prove me wrong, but I think Miami just set their team back a whole nother decade by giving him that money.
Oh, that's perfect. This is a perfect segue to a team that set their team back by giving a quarterback a terrible contract. At number 31, the old butthole toucher, Deshaun Watson. I will stand on the tallest of mountains or the shortest of stools and say this guy is the biggest piece of shit. And the contract that he got is just absurd. They jettisoned Baker Mayfield out of Cleveland for this guy to just degress, continue to do inappropriate things, and he's not good anymore. I think coming off of the injury, he's been a shell of the player he was in Houston. Yeah, you are number 31 on the list, Deshaun Watson.
see, I got two at 31. Tua shouldn't even be lacing up a cleat anymore. I mean, the dude is he's shown, from a medical standpoint, he's in very, very dire risk of life-ending injuries. I mean, it's scary. You can't be playing football at a level like that when your health is just not holding up. And you know, it makes me sad to see that guy still out there trying to compete because your health, and you see it in younger guys, their health does take a priority, and this guy's still out there trying to make himself relevant. It's it's a shame. It's an absolute shame. Um, I do think he's better than Penix, but I think they're both made of silk, and I just don't see it. I don't see it lasting. I think Atlanta finishes the season with both of them on the IR. I don't. I just don't see good things happening in Atlanta. That's my 31.
Made of silk. Phenomenal reference.
Very good.
Uh,
Trash.
to wrap up the lists at number 32, I have Deshaun Watson. There was no way I wasn't going to have him anywhere but the bottom. It's the most absurd contract in all of sports. He hasn't played football in almost 2 years after a setback injury that set him out all of last year. And even though he's been a shell of himself, he hasn't proven anything in Cleveland, has never looked good once in Cleveland. And even though he's this bad now, I still would take him over Shadur Sanders. He doesn't even make the list. So Deshaun Watson dead last at 32.
Yeah, for dead last on my list, it is Malik Willis. And it's mainly because it's just a complete unknown with a completely overpaid contract with absolutely nobody to throw the ball to. So have fun with that.
32, I agree with Zach. This is Deshaun Watson territory for me. Hasn't played, like you said, and just not the same player. And I really don't have anything else to say other than the fact that it's crazy that this guy is probably much better than Shedeur Sanders.
All right, well, I got Cleveland left, but Deshaun Watson, the butthole toucher, isn't even on my list because I do agree with the fact that he's a better player than Shador Sanders. But I think even if he plays, that layoff's only going to lead to one path, and it's going to lead to injured. So, in my opinion, I think Shador Sanders by default takes more snaps than him behind center this year. So I have him at 32.
At 32 for me, a man that I absolutely despise with every fiber in my being. However, I thank that man because with that man, I now have the Mandalorian as my quarterback. And now, Dano, he is back in town, back in the saddle to do you a solid. And congratulations, the New York Football Jets. Arch Manning is going to be your quarterback in 2027 because of this man, the worst quarterback in the NFL, Geno Smith.
That's phenomenal.
Right.
To wrap this up, yeah, I mean, Rich, you took my fire here. I wasn't even going to name that person that's always been mentioned, but I just had whoever starts at Cleveland at 32. That team, I'm actually shocked. Someone said Detroit was the worst team in NFL history because I really think it's Cleveland. They are atrocious, embarrassing. Just there's no good options there. Like maybe do like a college system and every other like for first downs you play one, for second downs you play another, third downs you play another. Just make it make sense because it doesn't.
If it was soccer in Europe, there would be relegation.
Yeah, send them down. Send
Dilly dilly,
Alabama.
the pit of misery.
Bring Alabama up and send Cleveland down. Like I just get out of the Premier League, bums.
Well, that's our list. We know that this episode usually runs very long, and I'm sure it did here tonight. So I just want to take the time to thank everybody here for being on for the MegaCast for the top rankings. 6 years of the pod, closing in on 3,000 total downloads.
Shout out to those people in Argentina.
Shout out to the 2 listeners in Argentina. Whoever you are, we love you. We appreciate you.
Go Argentina.
Go Argentina. Thank you guys so much. It's been a hell of a ride. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Dan, for hopping on.
Thanks, boys.
Shout out to Dan, his pod, 4 League Report. Check him out.
Yeah.
And we will be back next week. Maybe some NFL preview stuff. Or second half of baseball stuff. I haven't really decided what we're going to do next, but keep a lookout for those episodes. And without further ado, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of The Kingdom, where sports reign supreme.
Booyah.
Peace out.